How's it going, everyone? Yosef back here with another video, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Today we are going to answer a very important question, and that is, can you find the perfect car? You see, a lot of people ask me all the time, Yosef, what's the best car to buy? And when I have conversations with people, they're so passionate about their decision that their car is perfect and it's the best one for everybody. But is it really? You see, there's a lot that goes into this, and I am very curious to get your thoughts about this because it's been a topic that's been on my mind for a while. But before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel, my name is Yosef. I happen to be a car enthusiast with 3 kids, and I used to sell cars in the past. So if you're interested in my perspective, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload every single week. All right, now on with the video. Okay, so let's get into this video, and there's a bit of a backstory here before we get into the meat of this, because you see, I have been making videos now for just over 2 years, and the interesting thing is I've managed to make over 100 videos, which for me is a huge milestone. I remember when I made my first video and I thought, man, how awesome would it be if I had a whole bunch of videos for people to scroll through and watch? That would be incredible. And fast forward to where we are today, and I've got over 100 of them, which is insane. I could not believe when I started that I would get to this point today. So thank you so much to all of you for watching and supporting the channel. I know there are a handful of you that have been doing it since the beginning, and for those, I am incredibly grateful. But here's the thing. With all these videos, I get a tremendous amount of comments. And in those comments, I get very, very passionate people who are so excited and diehard fans of their vehicles that in their mind, they are the perfect car. There is no fault. And they couldn't possibly see any reason why nobody or somebody would not want to buy it. And in there lies the challenge and the reason why I wanted to bring up this video topic. So here's the thing. I think it's really, really important for people to share their passion and love and excitement about their vehicles. But what it really boils down to is there is no such thing as a perfect car. Every car is going to have some sort of drawback, and it's not necessarily going to fit into everybody's lifestyle. It could be great for you and it could be great for a particular time in your life, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect for everybody, or it's going to be perfect for everybody looking for that type of a vehicle. A good example of that is my Golf R. I love my Golf R, and I've talked about it tremendously in my videos, but I know that it's not a perfect car. I, for example, don't love the infotainment system. I don't love the fact that we don't have physical dials or buttons for the climate controls. I also don't particularly love the fact that it's a very bland interior. It would have been nice to have a splash of color, something to just make it stand out a little bit and bring a little, I don't know, excitement to the interior. It's just very black and very gray. There are things that I don't love about the car. But for me, in this particular moment in my life, it's the perfect car for what I need. Does that mean it's a perfect car full stop? Absolutely not. And could I recommend this car to absolutely everybody? Absolutely not, because just because it works for me in my particular situation right now doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for somebody else. And this is a really, really important concept, because I think a lot of people, they go and they watch reviews and they hear stories about vehicles and they're like, oh my God, I need to have this. This is going to be the one solution. It's going to solve all my problems. It's going to make my life so much better. And then they get into it and they realize that may not be the case. The reason why I think this is important to be aware of is you need to make a very conscious decision about what's good for you and what's important to you. And I've had a lot of people recently coming up to me and asking me questions around, you know, what's your opinion, Yosef, about this car? Or, you know, I'm interested in getting something like this, and I don't know if I should get this or that. And, you know, I always try to give my honest opinion about things, and I think it's something that people really need to think about when they're getting advice from someone, is this person really thinking about what their needs are, or are they thinking about their own personal needs when they're giving that recommendation? Because their personal needs might not be aligned with what your needs are as a consumer, as somebody who's looking to buy something. Perfect example of this is I had a friend of mine reach out to me just a few days ago, and he said, hey, Yosef, I was really interested in getting a new car. He has a Lexus RX 350 at the moment, and he's looking to get something different. And he said, Yosef, should I get a BMW X5 or should I get a Porsche Cayenne? And I said, well, what's really important to you? Because if it were my money, I would probably get the Porsche Cayenne. I think that's a better driving car and it's a little more exciting. But why do you want to get a Porsche Cayenne or a BMW X5? And he said, Yosef, really what I care about is comfort. I want really good ride quality, and I don't just want to drive a Lexus. I want to drive something a little bit more interesting. So I said, well, if ride is the most important thing to you, you might want to consider the Mercedes GLE, because that is a phenomenally riding car. It's not as exciting to drive. In my opinion, it's not a very fun car, and I'm not hugely a fan of the interior, but hey, if you want a luxurious premium German luxury car, that does it. And it's going to ride better, in my opinion, than the Audi, and it's going to ride better than the BMW, and it's probably the closest thing you'll get to the Lexus. And he really appreciated that feedback, because I think he expected me to say, oh, just buy the BMW or just buy the Porsche, because those are cars that I would really enjoy driving. But that may not necessarily be the case for him. And that's really the point of all this. I think it's really important, again, to have the passion and love for cars and, share the ownership experience and the things that we love about the cars that we drive. But we also have to remember that not everybody is in the same situation. The car may be more expensive for somebody, or it may not be the right fit, practicality wise. Fuel economy wise, that may not be the right solution for them, or there may be a whole bunch of other factors as to why a particular vehicle might not be the right fit for somebody. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that your choice was a bad one. It just means that your choice might not be the best choice for them. And I hope that this resonates with all of you, because I feel like it just helps make the dialogue around car enthusiasts and in general, just people who are interested in buying cars and, want to get your advice, or, are just interested in hearing what we have to say, a little bit more valuable. Think about the other people that are going to be reading those comments. Think about those other people that are going to be interested in your opinion and what might be important to them. My perspective might not be relevant for everybody, but I try to keep a bit of an open mind when I make my recommendations or when I make my reviews, and I try to think about all the people that could be watching those videos and try to put myself in their shoes. What do they care about? What do they think is important? What would they want to know if they were looking to buy this particular vehicle or not? Maybe they want the competitor. What would be important for them to know, so that they can make a really good, informed decision before they go out and actually make that purchase? So I know this is a bit of a hot topic because, just like everybody else, I get very passionate about my decisions that I make, and sometimes I get caught up in this emotional roller coaster of, yes, I made the right decision and I made the best decision and therefore it's the best one for everybody. It's not always the case, and I have to remind myself of that sometimes too. But I was very curious to see what you all have to say about this, and I'm curious to see how that's going to translate in the comments. And one of the videos that really kind of highlighted this was, there were two of them actually. One was the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio video, and the other one was the Audi RS3 video that I made not too long ago. Both of those videos garnered a huge amount of comments, and very passionate comments about each vehicle, and I was really excited to see all of them. But it seemed like there was a lot of headbutting between some of the people there in the comments, like, no, you're wrong about this, this is absolutely the best, or this is perfect, or there's nothing else better. And then people would comment with a rebuttal saying, no, this is a better vehicle, or this is more special, or this is more unique, or more powerful, or more value for money. It's just interesting to see all the ways that people react to some of the comments. And I think it's important. I think we gotta share those feelings. But always remember that just because we made a decision about something and we want to justify it for ourselves, it doesn't mean that it's going to justify it for everybody else. So keep that in mind, and keep that in mind for when other people are going to ask you for your advice for buying a car, what your thoughts are on your vehicle. Don't feel bad about sharing the pros and the cons. Just because your car has some negatives or challenges doesn't mean that it's a bad car or was a bad decision for you. It just goes to show that there's no such thing as a perfect car. Every car is going to have some sort of drawback. You're always going to give up something to get something. As long as you're getting more benefits or more pros versus the downsides and the drawbacks, that's how you know you made the right decision. And if you went in eyes wide open and you've thought very clearly about all those drawbacks and, again, positive reasons for getting the car, and it ticks all the right boxes and makes the most sense for you, you made the right decision. You're not going to have buyer's remorse. And if you're interested, I made another video talking about making buying decisions. One talking about new or used cars, and another one just making decisions in general. I've made a few videos about those, and I'll put links in the description below for those. So feel free to take a look at those videos if you're interested. But the general idea is, I just want people to make really good decisions, and I want people to realize that there really is no such thing as a perfect vehicle. You're always going to have some drawbacks, something that's going to put you off, or that's not going to be ideal. And that's okay, because there is no perfect car. I wish there was. But every manufacturer has their challenges, has their downsides, and that's just what it is. What are you willing to put up with? And some people want the closest thing to perfection for them, which is, just a really good driving car or a really cheap car to maintain and own. And that's great for them, but that's not going to be necessarily great for somebody else. And that's why there are so many different manufacturers and so many different cars on the road. If we all had the same opinion about cars, we'd all be driving the same car and we'd be living a boring life. But we don't. Everybody drives something different. And even if two people are driving the same car, I would imagine, and I would be willing to bet, that the reason why they bought that car is different. Everybody's got a different reason for why they buy things. That's what makes the world go around. Anyways, it's a short video. I just had a lot of thoughts about this, and I thought I'd put this out. It's a really interesting topic, and I've thought about it quite a bit. So many times people come up to me and say, Yosef, what's the best car to buy? And I always get frustrated with that question, because I say there is no such thing as the best car. I mean, you have certain criteria that you're looking for, and you want to find the car that best suits those criteria. And think about that. Think about the ranking of all those different criteria. What's most important? What's least important? So you can make a really good decision about the car that you buy. Not because it's perfect, but because it suits most of those criteria. And I think that's the only way to buy a car, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're going to get buyer's remorse, or you're not going to care about your decision, and you're going to change it up later, and that's okay too. But there is no such thing as a best car or a perfect car. It's just the way it is. So thank you so much for listening to my rant today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm so curious to know what you think about this topic. Am I totally crazy? Is there a perfect car? Is there a best car that's great for everybody? Am I just totally off my rockers here, or have I made some common sense? Anyways, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And it's been a while since I've done one of these driving videos, just kind of talking about thoughts. So thanks for putting up with it. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I know New Year's was just behind us after I post this video. It's actually New Year's Eve today. So it's kind of ironic when I'm putting this out. But as a New Year's resolution, think about how you can make better decisions in life, just in general. How can you make the right decisions for the right moments and not get caught up with everybody's thoughts and opinions about things? Think for yourself. Think about, what's important to you in your life and what's going to make a difference. And that's going to help you just lead a better life and a better year. And I wish that for all of you. So have an awesome year ahead of you. 2026 is going to be a great one. And I look forward to seeing where the videos go and where we get to go together. So have an amazing year, an amazing rest of the week, and I'll see you in the next one.